Yo, what is up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video that I'm very excited to show you, as these are some battles using Bronzong, a Pokemon who would have thought we featured on the channel multiple times in the past few weeks, but Bronzong, James, helped us climb in the Catch Cup last week to our high elo of the season. You're going to see us get to 3,500 with this team in a crazy sequence of battles. And honestly, this was not necessarily Annihilate and Gligar carrying me to victory. Bronzong was massive with this team. And one situation in which it was massive is what you're seeing right here in this first battle. Azumarill was quite common in the Catch Cup. And assuming the common moveset, the standard moveset these days for Azumarill seems to be Ice Beam, Play Rough, Bronzong able to wall off that energy. Because bubbles do chunk, Bronzong actually has a pretty close matchup against Azu when it's neutral energy. But if I'm able to chip and then come in with Bronzong, you're going to see it do quite well here. Going to go for a massive farm. Do actually have to shield once, which is unfortunate. But we come out with a ton of energy. Going to go straight for the payback here. Does massive damage. Maybe not as much as we'd hope. Opponent actually lets us get to another payback here. They could have CMP'd us on the Ice Punch. We aggressively swap into our Annihilate. And was this a mistake? Was this a mistake? Now, all of a sudden, he has a move banked on the Sand Slash, but we got a boost, which helps us out a little bit. I'm wondering, do I shield? Do I not shield? I figure I have to let it go because I need to save the shield for the Ice Punch that is loaded on the Annihilate. Shadow Sableye, we have to let this go. A foul play will hurt from a Shadow Sableye, but it's not going to be enough to knock us out. And at this point, I was a little bit concerned if I could wing attack down or not, so I do a little bit of extra farm just to make sure I can get off this Aerial Ace. And I think it was the right call. I don't think I would have been able to farm down, so I needed to farm up a little bit extra to make sure I reached the Aerial Ace, and that's going to knock out the Alolan Sand Slash to get us our first win on the board. Catch Cup is like many metas in the Go battle. Sometimes it might take a little bit to find a team that works for you. I was really struggling in the Catch Cup. I was getting pretty frustrated, to be honest, because I think I was like maybe 34, 3,500s at most. Probably not quite 3,500s because I think this is the highest elo I got when I was running this team. But I think I was like high 34s, maybe 3480, and tanked several hundred points trying out different teams. And honestly, the teams I was running was Annihilate, Gligar Core with a random third, and I wasn't able to find much success. But Bronzong trying to change that. And if you're wondering, Rise, why run regular Gligar as opposed to Shadow Gligar? That's because these were in the Catch Cup. So I didn't have a Shadow Gligar from this season, but I did have a regular Gligar that I could use. And I have a pretty solid Shadow Gligar. If I was able to use the Shadow Gligar, I would definitely opt for that. I think Shadow Gligar is just strictly better than regular Gligar. There's not a whole lot of matchups where I think regular Gligar benefits because that Shadow Aerial Ace is just a lot more threatening than the Aerial Aces from regular Gligar here, as you see. Not doing much to Whiscash. We're in a kind of a tough looking situation. I figure my Annihilate is dead weight anyway against the Wiggly, so I just use it kind of as a meat shield here to take all this energy that the opponent farmed up with their Whiscash. So we're just completely sacrificing our Annihilate here. And now the Whiscash should be pretty much energy dry. So I'm going to wait out my timer. I'm going to come in with Gligar. Going to overfarm a little bit. They come back in with Wiggles. And I go for the Aerial Ace, really hoping to grab a shield here because I can get to this next Aerial Ace. And our opponent does shield. That's huge for us. We get off a second Aerial Ace. Are they going to invest their final shield onto the Wiggly? They do not. And now all of a sudden, if we can get rid of this Whiscash and there's something Bronzong can handle in back, maybe we can still win? Maybe? I figure I don't know what's in back, so maybe I ought to save a shield. He actually scalds, but doesn't get the debuff. What's in back? It's a Lantern. This is probably over. Lantern's just a little bit too bulky. But, we'll see if Bronzong can put up a fight. We don't want to count it out just yet. We do get the successful bait, so we can go for the hard-hitting payback, but we just know how bulky Lantern is. And our opponent made a bold play going for that Skull, trying to debuff our final Pokemon. Kind of smart, to be honest. Didn't get the debuff, though. Payback connects. And unfortunately, Lantern already has a move loaded. No shields for our Gligar to hide behind, and one Spark would have KO'd anyway. So that is a G to the G. Team not invincible, as you see. And I got a little ahead of myself here. Next battle, Dilap. One of the most talented players in the world. He's running Charge-Bug leads. Saw quite a few Charge-Bug leads. And it's one of those leads that, you know, people seem to play it differently every single time. So I go for the Night Slash bait here. Sometimes they call it. Sometimes they shield it, expecting the Shadow Ball. I get the shield, which is kind of nice. And I decide what I'm going to do is shield this up to get off my Shadow Ball to potentially force his last shield. He goes for a Shadow Ball catch, but we're able to react and not throw the Shadow Ball right away. So we go for the neutral Night Slash here against Double. Then we swap into Glide. Save a little bit of energy for later, which is kind of nice. And also, we're thinking, okay, if there's a Charge-Bug lead, he probably has some sort of Gligar response in the back. So that's why we elect to come in with Gligar here. Also, we don't want to take a potential payback on our Bronzong, so I think either makes sense. He actually shields, which surprises me. Did not expect him to shield there. I'm going to go for an... Oh, he has double body slam, and as you're going to see, I'm just going to let this go, because once again, I expect him to have some sort of Gligar response in back. He goes for the nice catch. I could have done one and thrown Dig, so a bit of a mistake there by me, because I got a little bit impatient. I didn't want to get sniped by something coming in with a quick fast move pressure in the back. But I come in with Bronzong, and this is going to be really nice, especially if he doesn't get to a second X-Scissor. Can we farm down before the second X-Scissor? Yes, we can. We know there's a really low double still back there. What's going to be the final Pokemon? It's going to be a Trevenant. Normally a bad matchup for Bronzong, but he's going to be able to get some payback against the Trevenant. And we're going to confusion down, but Dilap will top left there, knowing the game is over. We also still had a Night Slash banked on our Annihilate, I believe. So a G to the G against Dilap. I feel like I usually have pretty competitive games against that man. Now we have someone whose name is Legend Push. They're far past Legend, but their name is Legend Push. They've always got that mindset. No matter what elo they get to, they're always on the Legend Push. And we are in the Annihilate mirror. I really do not like this lead, because half the time, like, maybe I'll make the right call, and half the time I just lose. I just lose the game, because either I get Night Slash baited and they shield Shadow Ball, or the opposite, they call Night Slash. Maybe they go straight for Shadow Ball and I call it and then just lose the game on the spot. I just do not like the Annihilate mirror. It's just so one-sided. It's like whoever wins this lead is typically going to win the game. I go for a call, and I call the Night Slash. Okay, let's go. And now this has to be a Night Slash, so I probably just take it. No. I guess I feel like Switch could be important here. Yeah, especially because in the Catch Cup, there's so many Whiscash. Oh, yikes. I go for Shadow Ball because I believe it does more raw damage here, even though it's double resisted, as opposed to Night Slash being single resisted. Shadow Ball is a much harder hitting move. And, dude, like we said, Switch was all that mattered. Win lead, win game, baby. Kind of toxic, not very skillful. That's when I'm on stream and I joke. So skillful. Such a skillful win. All we did was just try to brute force our way through the lead. We did make one call. So there's literally like one good thing we did that battle. And it wasn't even necessarily a good thing or a good play. It was just getting lucky. It was making the right 50-50 coin flip. And you align things in the back, you win the game. Shadow Scarm. So pretty like neutral. I would consider this favorable for Annihilate. Just because the Shadow Ball is so threatening and the counter damage as well. And you also have more bait potential. So we have the bait potential here with Night Slash, and we do get the successful bait, and we get the boost, the first boost of the game. You know, one day if we make it big, we could have like some special effects when there's a boost. Get like some boost graphic to appear on the screen. Recentering the battle a little bit. We get off the Night Slash. We're just going to stay in here. And we do get off a parting boosted Night Slash. So this is really nice for us. Night Slash does some massive damage to Sableye. The reason we were willing to let ourselves just get farmed down is we have to avoid Sableye onto our Bronzong. If Sableye gets matched up on Bronzong, that is just asking for trouble. So we're going to come in here with our Gligar. The non-shadow Gligar going to benefit here by taking the move a little bit better. What's in back? It's Whiscash. Not great for us. However, with all this energy lead, we might still be okay here. Huge energy lead. Going to go for another dig here with our Gligar. And now what I'm thinking is I'm just going to stay and I'm just going to force Whiscash to throw a Scald because I don't think Mud Bomb's even enough. I don't think Mud Bomb's enough personally, so I'm just going to force him to throw a Scald. It's more energy, and now, although this is a bad matchup for Bronzong, we are up a shield and we are up a lot of health. So we can take a Mud Bomb, save our shield for a potential second Mud Bomb, and get to a Psyshock, which will be enough to KO. This is on the charge attack priority. Bronzong getting revenge on the Whiscash. It's like he's coming back from a 3-1 lead. Bronzong. Psyshocks his nemesis, the Whiscash, to victory. Whiscash normally has Bronzong's number. This was a rare situation where Bronzong was able to turn the table. We're going to skip ahead. 33-48. You see the elo now. And it's on to the second set. Battle starting. Here we go. Not familiar with this trainer. And a positive lead. Annihilate into Lickitung. Now, this is also a bit of a bait game, right? Lickitung can win this matchup if they successfully bait Body Slam and then reach the Power Whip. So sometimes opponents are going to go for the risky Body Slam bait. Let's see if we decide to try and call it. We're going to call it. We're going to no shield. We're trying to call the Body Slam. Let's go, baby. Call the Body Slam. Going to throw Night Slash here as they're reaching their second Body Slam. Hopefully this knocks out, and it does. Very nice. What's going to come in? It's going to be the Skarmory. And once again, I'm going to be willing to let myself get farmed in exchange for just keeping alignment because I'm going to get a shield advantage and I can come in with Bronzong here. I have to avoid the Gligar on Skarmory matchup. That's a horrible matchup for Gligar. Bronzong doing its thing. Going to tank a Sky Attack, no problem. Skarmory does resist our fast move damage, so it's not the most dominant matchup in the world, as we've talked about. But I would still consider it slightly favorable for Bronzong. I don't know, actually, based off the Sims, who's supposed to win this matchup, to be honest. But Bronzong resisting everything and being able to hit for neutral payback, I would say slightly favorable. We're going to get off a parting Psyshock here. Just want to get off something to force a shield or fast move damage, or just damage in general, I should say. And now the fast move damage from Gligar was going to be too much for Trev to overcome. G to the G. Pretty straightforward win there. We had a favorable matchup every step of the way. So nothing too complicated there. Definitely a favorable alignment for myself. And here we go. Looks like the queue time's starting to get a little bit long. We're playing Monarch. The Monarch of the Go Battle. Just kidding. That's not a real thing. So here's a situation. Gligar safe swap. Sorry for the pause mid-battle. But Gligar safe swap, I don't have a great answer, right? Gligar can flip Bronzong with access to super effective dig. If I swap in my own Gligar, then I'm behind a wing attack and they can flip that by getting to their moves first. So what I do here is actually really important. I stay in. You might be thinking, Rise, why the heck are you staying in? This is a bad matchup. Because I need to secure switch advantage. How am I going to do that when I don't have an easy response? I can outpace to the Night Slash, chip the opposing Gligar, and then come in with my own. This, and actually get a shield in the process. This is how I'm going to be able to secure this matchup because I need to keep my Annihilate aligned with the Dugong. If Annihilate is not going to see the Dugong, I mean, they're probably going to have some sort of Annihilate answer in the back. It could be Double Flyer. Maybe like something like a Mantine. That's my first guess. They're going to go for another Aerial Ace. Now, I am actually willing to let this go. So the opponent can go down 2 shields if they'd like to in order to flip switch, but I'm willing to let that happen. And that's actually what they do go for. They go down 2 shields in order to flip switch. I'm going to respect a potential dig here from this Gligar, and they do go for it. So a good shield there. And my opponent actually gives up switch, recognizing either way, their Dugong isn't going to have a great matchup. So they just swap into Carbink, and I'm going to swap here because, honestly, the Carbink is just so bulky, and even though I have a Steel-type Bronzong, I don't have any Steel moves on it. So Carbink's just going to take the damage so easily from Bronzong. I overfarm right up to the Rock Slide. Charge attack priority. Night Slash does knock out. Gonna throw right away because at this point I'm thinking, okay, my best bet is just getting as much counter damage as I can onto this Dugong. And then hopefully, actually bank a Night Slash and transfer that Ice Shard to my Bronzong. So a nice little play there. And now I'm thinking, okay, I have the Night Slash banked. All I need to do is get off some damage here. I still throw in proper timing just to be a little bit extra safe with it. Dugong is going to reach the drill run here, making this extremely close. So look how well the opponent played this, making it come down to a charge attack priority with our 1 HP Annihilate. Yikes, dude. Almost lost that one despite having a very favorable lead. But the opponent almost flipped it. We were able to survive with 1 HP, use that banked Night Slash we had, and get the win. Theoretically, I could have just thrown that Night Slash earlier instead of banking it, and then the payback would have been enough. So maybe made it a little bit more complicated than it needed to be. However, I felt like with Dugong's ability to debuff, maybe they could pull some shenanigans where they could like Icy Wind, debuff my Bronzong, and then it would live the move more comfortably, and then Drill Run would knock out Bronzong or something like that. Who knows? Next opponent, HD. Oh, dude. This guy is an absolute savage. He beat me today on stream, like super dominant. I top lefted like a minute and 20 seconds into the battle, just completely destroyed me. Within 3 seconds, I was just seeing the good effort screen. He comes into my chat, says, GG, what happened? He was ready to go. He had my chat open, ready to flex on me. That's how good he is. Can we overcome this situation? We lead Annihilate into Cress. He's hard countering us as per usual. At this point, I'm thinking like, I don't feel like going shields down is the play. I feel like I need to keep a shield for my Annihilate to have any sort of chance this game. And I'm going to throw the Night Slash here. We're going to get rid of this Sand Slash. Cresselia has energy, so that's why we feel like it's necessary to keep our shield. Okay, we're just going to put it all on Bronzong and hope for the best. Hope that Bronzong is going to be double strong against his team. That's our only play at this point. Cresselia is just going to chip as much as possible. Probably go for some Moonblast, potentially debuff us. And this is awkward, right? Because it's like, do I want to get rid of this as soon as possible? Or do I want to build up extra energy for the back Pokemon? I don't know. So I'm going to build up extra here a little bit. Probably could have done one more Confusion, at least. So maybe not the cleanest play from me. What's in the back? Oh, it's a Whiscash. And once again, this trainer going to triple hard counter us as he did today. And we're going to go for the payback here. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough. Whiscash just too strong. And it's going to look pretty close in the end, if I remember correctly. But he had us dominated every step of the way. And that is a GG. Well played by the opponent. And yeah, today was actually a really rough day for me in the Go Battle League. So I'm showing you guys this footage because it was a nice run we had in which we ended up getting into the 3500s. Today, I had a stretch on stream where I think I went like, it was like 1-2 and then an 0-5. So it was 1 in 7. Then we ended with a 2-3. So I went something like 3 and 11 over a 14 game stretch. It was pretty brutal. So you have the highs and the lows of the Go Battle League. And sometimes I might be more geared to share with you guys the highs of teams that have worked for me. of games that were, in my opinion, more entertaining and teams that functioned well, but it's definitely a bit of a roller coaster. Here we are, Gligar, going to try and fight back against this Lantern. Of course, Lantern has that super effective Surf, but Gligar has the super effective Dig. Going to grab a shield here. Lantern, going to fire off a Surf. I believe we led the Annihilate into opposing Gligar, right? And we swapped our own Gligar. So we're kind of trying to fight out of a bad circumstance. Going for another Dig. Is this going to connect? No, it's going to get shielded. We're going to aggressively swap into our Annihilate. And now we got both shields from the Lantern. So now if Gligar comes back, we're going to have an opportunity to get off a Shadow Ball to deal some significant damage to this opposing Gligar. So that's kind of why I wanted to grab both shields there and was willing to shield a Surf, because now Shadow Ball is going to connect. And you got to think about how you're going to get rid of that Pokemon. I'm thinking, does he get to Dig if I come in with Bronzong? I thought he would, so that's why I came in with my Gligar. And we actually do live. I actually let him Wing Attack me down, so that way I can get a 1 Confusion head start here. Is this 1 Confusion going to make a difference? It might actually make a difference. It's a Poliwrath in the back. We try to wait a turn to avoid the catch. Psyshock coming through. Is this going to be enough to knock out? Yes, it is. And now we just need to get rid of this Lantern, and we do so. Oh, Poliwrath is actually still there. Poliwrath gets off a move. He transferred one of the Confusions. Very smart, but the Scald, not quite enough. What a play by the opponent. Unfortunately, not quite enough to change the outcome. And that is a G to the G. That is a G to the G. I think we have one battle left, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a good day or night. The new season is coming soon. I don't know. People are speculating we might get some news on Wednesday about new moves this season. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that is the case, I'll try to get out a video with as soon as I can once the new move updates drop. Get you my thoughts on it. Maybe we'll look at some PV poke action, see how it's going to affect certain things. And here we go. Final battle of the video. Our least favorite lead in the world. That's probably not true. I would probably much less rather have, like, I don't know, Talonflame into Bastiodon. That'd be pretty bad. But this is arguably, like, more annoying because it just comes down to baits. We did successfully shield the Shadow Ball. We successfully bait Night Slash, so it's going our way, and we get the boost. Rise, you're so lucky. Rise, oh my gosh, if I was as lucky as you, I would win every single game. We land the Shadow Ball. Dude, Annihilate going on an absolute tear here. Annihilate is sick and tired of Bronzong stealing the limelight. Annihilate's like, Rise, you ain't forget about me, bro. I'm the truth. I'm Paul Pierce. Going for a Night Slash here. Annihilate's basically taken out 2 Pokemon at this point. We aggressively swap into Bronzong, and it's going to be a Lantern in the back. And Annihilate with the boost, with the successful bait, and shield calls. Just a game that we got lucky, and we also made some right calls. So just everything kind of going right for us in this battle. Bronzong in a great spot. I think I'm just going to shield this up because I know I can get to 2 Psyshocks before he's going to get to 3 Surfs. And this way we can just simply get rid of the Lantern. Skarmory will be forced to throw energy at us to get rid of our Bronzong. And then Skarmory is so low that Gligar will actually be able to take it out. So we're going to see a move come through. Sky Attack does knock out. Gligar comes in. And even if this is a Brave Bird, Gligar should be able to withstand it, especially since it's not a Shadow Gligar. And that is a G to the G. This team went on a pretty insane run. You're going to see the ending elo here, probably in the high 3300s. We get a nice little squirrel, nice little chipmunk as a reward. Squovit. And let's see if the ending elo is here. Yep, 3,400 on the dot. So we end there 3,400. And I ran this same team over the weekend off stream, or I guess it wasn't the full weekend because of the league shift. But this was the team I ran to get to my highest elo of 3528 this season which I screenshotted there. This got me to rank number 21 on the global leaderboard. And yeah, it was really nice to end the Catch Cup on a high. And dude, my alarm's going off because I have something in the oven. And I made some chicken. What was I saying? Yeah, this team got me to my highest elo of the season, ranked 21 on the global leaderboard, and was pretty cool run. And I feel like it's always the end of a meta for some reason. I like start to get the hang of the meta and climb, and then it changes. Maybe other people feel that way. Let me know in the comments. And also, after my highest elo of the season, we've tanked a few hundred points. I think we're back in the 3300s with the Open Great League, which I'd consider like my favorite league, and yet it's been a little bit of a struggle bus for us. So, roller coaster, GBL. There's not a whole lot of time left in the season, but if you're pushing for your goals, try not to get discouraged with whether you're winning or losing. Just try to focus on playing the best of your ability. And if you get frustrated, like we all do, I got frustrated on stream today with how I was playing, and I felt like I was getting hard countered a lot. Just maybe take a break if you can. Take a break, set it away, go work on something else, go for a walk, and come back to it later in the day. And if you're like, Rise, I would never get frustrated at the Go Battle League because it's just a game. I don't care. Well, that's cool too, Jason. But I'm just giving advice out there that I hope some of you appreciate. And I appreciate you for watching this video if you're still here. If you are still here, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.